Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another puzzle by Gerhard 1963. I think I've done a couple of his now at this point. This one caught my eye. The symmetry and kind of the way these things look, just when you see it there on the screen, it just kind of grabs you. So I thought we'd take a look at this one, see if we can get this thing figured out. It is called Orbit by Gerhard 1963 again. And let's get through our rules and see if we can get this thing sorted. So we got standard Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. We have orbital whispers. So shown as navy blue lines, adjacent digits along an orbital whisper line must differ by at least 8. Now, I think that was we had done that one previously. And was that a Gerhard puzzle? I think it was. Now the problem is I can't remember if I actually completed that puzzle that had this rule set before. So we may not have actually shown this on this channel. I should have probably looked back, but I didn't realize these were orbital whispers before I started this recording. I don't always read the rules beforehand. I just kind of go off of look half the time. But anyway, orbital whispers means that the digits must be separated by at least 8. So it's like a really amped up German whispers. And we'll find out the significance of that once we get into the solve, but I'm not going to go any further into that just yet. Let's just leave it here because these are the rest of them. Anyway, next ones are Kropki pairs, so digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2-to-1 ratio. Digits in cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, and not all dots are necessarily given. So our white dots, these two digits just have to be consecutive, doesn't matter. Could be 2, 3, could be 7, 6, whatever. The black dot, these have to be in a 2-to-1 ratio. So whatever this digit is, this one is double or half of it. And not all dots are given, so there is no negative constraint here. And then our final rule set is the diagonal, which is digits along a marked diagonal cannot repeat. So this is the diagonal that we have. It's the only one. Cannot repeat a digit along that diagonal, and that's it. So those are the rules for Orbit. And let's jump into this one, see if we can get it figured out. So the first thing was the orbital whispers, and this is when you think about it for a split second, it jumps out at you as it must obviously be one thing and one thing only. If digits must differ by at least 8, they can only be a 1 and a 9. So we'll call it kind of a gimme in terms of starting off with the orbital whisper. Those are really hard to see. Can I see it on the other monitor better? Not really. I always keep meaning to go look if I can change the color of my pencil markings. It may be possible, but I've just never looked through the settings to see if I could do it. But in this case, you can see them much better when the thing is highlighted, but when it's not, it seems to kind of blend in a little bit. But whatever, I'm going to stop complaining. Now these are ones and really, dude, it just checked itself. So we have a bunch of 1s and 9s, essentially. Now, we're going to be able to use some of our Kropki dots with our 1s and 9s, and we're going to get some pairs here too. Because the only thing that you can put on a white Kropki with 1 and 9 is 2 and 8. And if we can just continue marking out what these must be. So we have if this is 1, 2, 3, or 9, 8, 7. So that's what these can both be. It's 3 and 7. We're going to have the same situations down here where these are 2 and 8, and these are 3 and 7. This 2, 8 is also going to be a 3, 7, so we can put those in there. Now, all of these are also 2 8s. And is that going to give us some info? This one is, and this one is as well. Again, kind of lost it in the coloring here. Okay, so do we have enough information to start moving with this thing now? We still have a couple of Kropki dots that are pointing at something that may or may not be of use. Sorry, this one again, I just missed that one. It has to be 2, 8. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. Okay. So like I said, we've got a bunch of pairs going throughout a lot of these regions, or some of these rows, I should say. Like here, where we have a limited number of digits that can be placed elsewhere. Is there something here? I guess the other thing we can say is on this diagonal, we do have a 2-8 pair, so nowhere on this diagonal can we ever have another 2 or an 8. But where's my best place to look? I think I'm going to look at either one of these two. They're pretty much the same situation. We know we can't have, well, yeah, it's not going to be very useful, is it? Because we can't have anything that uses 1, 2, 8, or 9, but we can easily have anything from 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. So those don't seem useful. Same pretty much goes here, but it's even less restrictive. Now, I'm wondering if this might require a bit of coloring in terms of figuring out if we can break up our pairs. Let's think about that for a second. Because if we can, and kind of the reason I'm looking at it would be if we can figure out that these 2s and 8s are both different digits, we would know that there could never be a 1, 2, 2, 4, or 4, 8 on this black Kropki. So that would be very useful in that instance. Now the problem is I don't necessarily know if we can make that determination just looking at what we've got here. Because we can say this is, let's say this is a purple 2-8, this is an orange 2-8. None of these see anything else. So yeah, it's maybe we need to start somewhere else, and maybe it'll trickle around somewhere, somehow. Because we can say, we can do the same thing here, and then we know that this is going to end up being an orange, this is going to end up being a purple. Because of, we can't repeat the digit. But that doesn't go any further. So the other way would be start looking at the 1s and 9s, because we have more of them. We might be able to determine something there. So I'm going to get rid of this coloring so I can switch over to this as a coloring device. It's going to end up kind of going around this, around and around here. Where it stops, nobody knows. Well, it stopped right there. How, well, can, So okay, trying to think of how to phrase this in a way that makes sense. We can use the 1s and the 9s to determine the colors of the 2-8s. Because we have this white Kropki dot on it. So let's say this is a blue 2-8. We know this also has to be a blue 2-8. So in fact, these are the same digit, which is kind of the opposite of what I hoped it would be. Because it's consecutive with the orange 1-9, so this has to be as well. This one will say it's a green 2-8, so it makes this a blue 2-8, which makes this a green 2-8. And this must be a green 2-8. Now, we also know that this is not attached to the purple 1-9, so therefore it can't be the blue 2-8, it must be the green 2-8, which means this is our blue 2-8. Again, it's all the same color 2-8s that are looking into here, which is not what I'd hoped it would be. We know that these are going to be the same digit, so let's continue coloring and see if we get anywhere with this. these have to be the same yellow color because of these are the same, so therefore these must be the same. Whatever this is, it's just the same combination of digits. So okay, so this must be a yellow 3-7. If we look here, we've got these looking in, these clearly aren't 2 8s. So this is a yellow 3-7. One of these must be a yellow 3-7. Okay, let's look at this one first. So this is not a yellow 3-7. It's whatever the other side of the coin is. We'll call it dark gray. We know... that's not all that helpful either, is it? Because the yellow 3-7s are looking in here. We know we can't have another yellow 3-7 on our line. So one of these is a yellow 3-7, and one of these is a yellow 3-7. I'll put a flash on him. We know none of these are 3-7s. Is it possible that either one of these could be a yellow 3-7? Because I think the answer is sadly yes. Yeah, it does seem like it is. The reason why I was thinking on that is because if we could prove that, let's say this was the actual yellow 3-7, this would be a blue. Well, it can't be. No, we don't know it's a blue 2-8. Sorry, I was thinking about it the wrong way. If we could say one of these was the yellow 3-7, could be a yellow 3-7, or we could rule them out. Yeah, I'm stumbling over my words. We're trying to reduce these as being possibilities of a yellow 3-7. We know we can reduce this one actually as a yellow 3-7 because it has to be attached to a blue 2-8. We already have a blue 2-8 here, so this couldn't be a blue 2-8. But it's still possible that this one or this one could be a yellow 3-7. Because this could be a blue 2-8, although it doesn't have to be. So I guess we can't really rule this out as being a 2-8 either, can we? Because just because these are yellow doesn't mean that we can't have another. So if this, let's say these were 2 and these were 3s, if this is a 2 and this is a 3, this could still be 4 kind of situation. Okay, so that logic doesn't seem like it's going to get me anywhere, at least not where I want it to get me. We do know that one of those 3 is. What about here? What is this guy? This is a gray 3-7. Maybe we can continue looking at it that way. One of these two must be a gray 3-7. I don't like that look either. Well, none of these can be gray 3-7s. These can't be gray 3-7s. There must be a gray 3-7 on this line somewhere, so one of these two is. Well, there's still not quite enough information there to be able to rule out which one is which. Now, if we knew that the gray, what the specific value, of it was, we might be able to go further in terms of where it could be placed, but I don't think we can do that. All right, so we're going to have to figure something else out. And I don't think we have... What about 1s and 9s in the middle? We know that none of these can be 1s or 9s, and we know this can't be, so this is a 1-9 set. Let's put that in there. So we've got 1s and 9s. We've got 2s and 8s in the middle here. We know one of the 3 7s. Now, we can't separate the 2 8s, I don't think, because we're going to have an orange and a magenta or purple 1 9, but there's nothing looking in here to differentiate the two. Yeah, we have, well, I guess we know one of these is the gray. We already knew that. One of these is the gray 3 7 by both the previous logic there and the fact, yeah, we can't have any of these be 3 7s. What else do we have? So, my coloring is stalling here. Oh, we can. Sorry, I didn't see that. Wait, how did I get that to be a blue 2 8? Because this was a green. So therefore this must be blue. If this is blue, then this must it be? Yeah, this would have to be an orange. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm losing out here. Which means this is our magenta, which means this is orange and magenta. I can find colors. And this must be orange, this must be magenta, so this here must be green, and this must be, that was the other one, blue. And if this is blue, this must be orange. And this one must be the magenta. This is orange and magenta, and the magenta, that works out, okay. So the coloring's back. I just didn't see some obviousness there in the middle. Now, we have all of our orange, we have all of our 1s and 9s, so our oranges and magentas are all situated. Okay, we can continue. Now that we can look at our blues, none of these can be blue, so therefore this is blue. So let's get rid of that and put in blue. Now, I do not want to make that pitfall there. So let's get rid of that. Or this being blue, this is orange because it doesn't have to be. Well, it can't be. It could be yellow. It could be something else. Okay, what else in blue land can we do? This must be blue. This must be blue. And this must be blue. Okay, getting somewhere. That's all the blues. What about yellows? Can we do anything further with them now? Yes, we can. This must be a yellow. Okay, so we proved it by coloring, not necessarily making that random assumption there. Therefore, this is yellow, which means this is the actual yellow. There we go. That should be all of our yellows, right? Yes, it is. Let's see if we can finish off the rest of our coloring here. We should be able to. Yes, this is green. This is green. What else do we have? This, nope. Just looking at the wrong stuff again. So we know, okay, so we know we can do more with these things than I was letting myself believe. Because we know this is either a 1, 2, 3 or a 9, 8, 7. So if this is a 9, and this is a 9, this would be an 8, and this would have to be the 7. It's going to work the same way if this is 1, 2, 3. So if this is 1, we know this is 1. This would have to be 2, and this would have to be 3. So this is always gray. Where was another? I thought there was another one we had where we can maybe it's just because of that was in line we could do that. Let's look at this other one. This must be yellow. It can't connect to blue because there's blues are done. And it can't connect to orange. So this yellow must connect to something else that we do not have colored yet. And it's either a 4 or a 6. I believe that's the correct way, because this is either 1, 2, 3, or it's 9, 8, 7. So this is, like I said, the yellow is either 3 or 7, and the next one in line would have to be the next one. So if this is 1, 2, 3, this guy, because it's not orange or blue, must be a different version, so it has to tack on to the end of it and not go back. So this would be 4 or 6. And I'm running out of colors to make this. I don't usually like to use red, but let's do it anyway. Now, what do we have left here? These are the last two possibility colors, isn't it? I'm going to put my digits in here real quick, because sometimes just having the color there can not confuse me, but it kind of hinders the way I can see things. 2 8s. I think that's all of them, isn't it? Yeah, okay. All right, let's before we go to columns, let's look again at our colors, make sure the ones that we already have we can deal with. Oh, wrong. I had to be on this thing first. So we know our oranges are done, purples are done, our greens are not. Okay, so we know there's a green on here. That's good, because it means this has to be from the 1, 2, 4, 8 combo. We know it can't have a 1 on it. So that's probably going to be what breaks once we get our coloring done. So let's continue with the coloring, and so we can get this thing figured out. Okay, green is not quite done, but we're going to be able to figure it out there. Blue, we finished. Oops, I never did put this one in. And then yellow was the last that we had going, which was done as well. Now let's look at the grays. Do we have any finalization on gray? Doesn't look like we do. Again, we know one of these two is gray, but we don't know which one is which. The red, I don't know what we can do with that red at the moment. What's left on our line? We need another 3, 7. The gray 3, 7. We already said that it had to be one of these two. We clearly need a red 4, 6 somewhere. We don't know where that is. And then what's left over? The other version of the 4, 6 and a 5. Okay. Okay, so we have to be able to, again, figure out what is left here. Now, I don't know. We know there's a 4 on here, but that isn't looking at anything we have just yet. The only other clue we still have left over is this guy here. Can we determine this one? It can't ever have a 1 on it. We know that by Sudoku. It could have one of the 2 8s. It could have a green 2 8. If it did, it would be here. It can't have. It could have a gray 3, 7. Which again would be here. And then the other options are 4, 5, and 6, which all seem to work perfectly fine. We do have a 2, 4, 8 triple. with our 1, 9. Now we know this is another clue. I didn't see it because of all the coloring I've got going on. This can't be a gray 3, 7 because you can't have 3 and 7 work together, and this can't be a gray 3, 7 because of this one. So this is our gray 3, 7. Let's put that in there. And the final digits on here, there has to be a 5 somewhere, and it can't go here because it can't connect to a 3, 7. So this is a 5. We've got a digit. It took 25 minutes, but we got there. And this has to be the other. Well, does it? No. I was going to say it cannot be the other 2, 8 because we have both of them here. So this has to be either the red 4, 6 or the other version of 4, 6. And it cannot be 4, so it has to just be 6. So this is 6, which means this is... Okay, here we go. All the yellows now are 7s, which means all of the dark grays are 3s. All of the greens are going to be 2s. Let's get those in. All of the blues are going to be 8s. All of the purples are going to be, or oranges are going to be 9s, and the purples are all 1s. So there we go. Now we should be pretty set to get rid of all this stuff now. So we know that's a 2, 4 pair. Good. And I don't know that we need our coloring left over, but do we want to keep it? It's confusing to me in terms of reading it on the screen here, but it might still be useful in terms to figure out a couple of last bits. So let's keep it up there here for a second. Now, these must be from 5 and 6. Could we do this guy here now? Because these can't be from 1. It can't have a 1. It could be 2, 3. It could be 3, 4. Yeah, those are the only options, because we can never put a 6 on here because of 7 and the 5. So this is 6. So there must be a 3 on here somewhere, and it can't be this one. So this is 3. Get rid of that. And we got a 2 pointing at it. So this is 4 and 2 and 4. And that's probably all we really needed to get this one done. Because now we're going to have... I'm going to get rid of this coloring. It's hurting my eyes, honestly. I'll leave the red there just for oops and giggles. So this one here, or these 3, I should say, have to be from 2, 5, and 6. So we're going to get this digit, which is just a 3. Now we know these 2 digits are the last 2 digits on this line, or the diagonal, I should say. And they have to be from 4 and 6. These have to be from 4 and 5. These 2 have to be 3 and 5. So, okay, so there we go. So we're going to get our 4 and our 5 and our 6 and our 4. That 6 is going to give us our 5 and our 6. We have a 3 here, so 5 and 3. And this has to be from 4 or 6 because of this row. And we've got a 6 down here, so this is 4. This is 6, so red was 6. This is 5. This one here must be a 5. And maybe this column is the way to go here. We need 4 and 5. Yeah, so this is 4. This is 5. This is a given of 4. These 2 must be 3 and 6. This has to be the 6 and the 3. We don't quite have these guys sorted out. Oh, we do. 2 and a 5 here means this is 6. And this then has to be 5 and 2. This one here then has to be 4. This one is 6. And this guy is 5. What are these? This is a 6. This is a... Ooh, my eyes are not working great today. When I have my contacts in, it's like sometimes I don't see as well for some reason. That's really weird. A reading of lettering and numbering. That should be a 3. Okay, there I finally got to it. There we go. So that was fun. Let me get rid of this red. It took a second for me to get into to kind of really get into it and to realize that I had to get into the coloring to really find where things go. But once I got into that, it went quite well. Now, again, I don't think I had the Orbital Whispers rule set before because I think I had started a puzzle where that was one of the rule sets and I wasn't able to finish that particular one. So hopefully this is one that you guys haven't seen before. But if you have, you know, whatever, you guys have seen it because you've probably seen a lot more than I have. Anyway, great puzzle. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Have a good one.